Kids are down. Wife's asleep.
So in 4 hours, you drank 15 Busch Lights.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at 8 o'clock, that's when you checked out and your wife had to deal with you.
Night time.
Night time.
Yeah.
Crack a beer. Pour a bourbon. It's After Dark. On ESPN Louisville Plus. Subscribe and smash that freaking like button. Now here's Justin Soforo.
Soforo. How do you
Soforo.
say Soforo? No, it's fur. It's fur, not four. That's why it's fur, man.
Soforo.
There you go.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Soforo. I don't know. Soforo? Soforo, my bad. No, Soforo.
Here's Justin Soforo and Anna Tarullo.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back into another edition of ESPN Louisville Plus After Dark. I'm Justin Soforo. She's Anna Tarullo. And we got some news to talk about today. We got a couple things to catch up on. It's been a minute since we were on here Wednesday talking about aliens.
We got weird.
We were talking aliens. I think I talked about extra dimensional things being in the room when you're going through puberty, stuff like that. There's different things that have popped up in the past.
I have thought about that statement from you like 3 times this week. I was driving.
sorry.
I was like, okay, wow, okay.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, when stuff like that comes up, it just makes me think. My mind goes weird places, and it's just like, so you're just telling me
puberty.
every time. If there's these demons or extra dimensional aliens or whatever the hell they are, if you're just telling me that like there may be a dimension that I cannot see, my guardian angel, and the whole time they're seeing not me, but other people that do stuff like that. Anna, welcome in.
My guardian angel.
Yes, thank you for joining in. Guys, if you haven't already, do me a solid favor, smash that freaking like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon, make sure you go over to the YouTube channel and join in over there. We're going to bring you more and more content. Actually, we are already bringing you more and more content. We've got Weird Wednesdays every Wednesday throughout the summer, at least, with James Strebel and Anna Tarullo and myself. We'll see. Maybe we'll have some guests in on top of us as well. With all that, we're going to talk a lot of nonsense when it comes to, well, I don't know. Strebel says it's not nonsense. It's real. This is what it was. This is what it was. The pyramids, they were tombs. Anyway, everybody tune in. Appreciate your all support. Thanks to all our members and all that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, we've got more things in the work though. We're not going to talk about it right now, but just let you all know to stay tuned to EL Plus. We're going to have more things in the work. Anna, how are you doing? How things going for you?
It's going good, man. It's good to be back on a Sunday with you. I know we both had some scheduling stuff, so it feels good to be back and have a little bit of news to talk about. But I'm good. I think we're both tired. We're both, it's just the summertime, man. It's hard to keep up the adrenaline and the excitement each week. But I think we'll have a good show tonight, but we can keep it short and sweet.
Yeah. We'll keep this one maybe a little bit more succinct. Talk about Kentucky, talk about what's going on there, and Louisville too. I've seen you all on Twitter, the people that are mad because I don't know. I can't help you all. I can't help some of these people that are out there because if I put one thing about Kentucky basketball out there, and I'm sorry if there's Kentucky news out there, I want to try to milk that sweet teat for a little bit more attention. Like, I'm sorry if I put Louisville. Could they be good next year? Probably not going to do a lot of numbers. But if you have a commitment come out there, and we have to talk about the situation and how it's unfolded, and of course we still have to talk about, because we haven't done a show together, like I said, outside of talking about aliens and perverse things going on in interdimensional beings, we have not talked about Milan Momcilovic and the fallout of that entire situation. But where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Ryan Hampton, or do you want to start with I guess I feel like I'd be wrong to dive right into that one just because Milan Momcilovic has been dominating this thing for so many weeks. Right. It seems like we can finally put a bow on it now that we know he's going to be a Wildcat. And I'm interested to see how this really develops for you in particularly, because let's be honest, you and I are not the most positive duo on sports radio when it comes to our own teams, especially here.
Yeah, it's like, sorry for being a realist. And I think I will have more of a reaction to the Ryan Hampton thing, but I think you're right. Let's talk about this Momcilovic thing first. Very exciting, obviously a very good get. The Ryan Hampton one means a little bit more because I feel like there's a little bit of momentum going on, and we will get into that. But at the end of the day, and I hate this, but it is summer radio. It's like I also just think it's being emotionally stable. It's like I'm not gonna get out of control excited about this until I see a result on the court. It is exciting. It is a good get, but I think everything is kind of dampened by the hard work that it seemed had to go into getting him, and that was almost like the first win in the offseason to feel good about anything. So I think it's okay to be excited. I want to give everybody permission about that. I like this. Doesn't matter who you get if you can't coach. And that's really where I am. So all of my reactions are tempered. It's great. What is he, like 50% from three? Shout out to my girl, Tracy, that I work with. We've been talking about this all week. She steps into my office. We have a little discussion, but I don't know. We'll see. I feel like there's a little bit more information and data that I think he's going to be a good fit and he's going to have a great result on the court. But again, I don't think there's anything wrong with me that I'm sitting here not excited about it until it turns into a result on the court because of just how disastrous last year was. And I know it sounds like I just keep saying that a lot, and I do, but I mean, it's good. You can have all the pieces, and we'll see. I did see some stuff on Twitter today that irritates the hell out of me, that it's like, you know what? I was wrong. And Mark Pope did have a lot of injuries his first and second year. And that was on me for being a Debbie Downer. No, the fuck it's not. Not when you're down by that many points to Gonzaga at the half. Like, let's not be bitches. Let's not be simps here for this man who has not proven fucking anything. Like, man up. That's what I want to say to the fan base. Like, I don't know. I'm more angry at the Kentucky fan base than like anybody else of their ease to accept a subpar product. So sure, I'll be excited. Great, you have a shooter. It's always good to have a shooter. But yeah, I don't care. Like, fine. But I feel a little bit different about Hampton.
There's to me, I'm not really, similar to you. I'm not really here for all the excuses. It's weird the situation we kind of sit in right now. I'm watching Kentucky fans do a lot of what Louisville fans did, where every time you want to. Yeah, a lot of cope happening. I'm talking about, obviously, with the Kenny Payne stuff and with some of the ups and downs just through the process of Chris Mack and all the things since Rick Pitino's been gone. And you're kind of, you're out in the woods. You're trying to find yourself. You're soul searching right now. I think the worry that both fan bases have is that when you get lost out in the woods trying to find yourself, you end up being Indiana, who's still stuck in the woods for 20, however many years. And the closest you got to the edge of the woods was Tom Crean. And he probably should have kept Tom Crean. You never should have moved on from him. It was just crazy to say, but like, I respected him back when he was at Marquette. I remember a lot of those teams. And again, I know I was a child at that point, and that's how long ago it was. But it's sad when you look at Tom Crean, and Tom Crean was the best thing that they had. This is not going to be an Indiana show, I promise. We're not getting on Indiana, but we're looking at Kentucky and the situation they're in. There are a lot of
Kentucky
how do you
get out of the woods, though? Like, I like this woods analogy to go back to it for 2 seconds. It's like, how do you get out of the woods? It's not being like, this is actually great. And I'm friends with the squirrels, and I can make a little fire, and I can use this leaf for clothes. It's like, no, you say this fucking sucks. I want to get out of the damn woods. How do we do it? I need an escape plan. So I think that's, if we're using that analogy, I'm not going to stay with the people who've created their own little civilization there. I'm trying to get back to electricity. Personally.
No, I'm right there with you. Okay. I hear you, bluegrass. You look like, well, never mind. We're not doing it. Talk to me after your coach beats the top 20 pound. Here's the problem, buddy. I'm not the one that you need to come at. Like, I'm not the one. You can ask Tarullo, you can ask Streeble, you can ask all the
he agrees
people.
with you.
I'm the one. Yes, I am for the most part. I am very critical of Pat Kelsey. I need to see a lot more from Pat Kelsey before I believe anything. That's also part of something that I want to go off on this tangent, and I understand. I heard it this morning. I know when we did the Sunday morning hangover, when that went out, me and Phil, and I saw some comments on there from people saying that, when I get on there, it's like I just constantly want to find a reason to be negative. And but I like to live in reality. I like to live in the real world, and I also know what the expectations of these programs are. I'm going to try to push this off because this is it's on my list of things to talk about. But talking about Louisville and the top 20 opponent thing that our guy Bluegrass brought up is something that we'll touch on a little bit. But one of the things that's kind of been shocking to me is, out of nowhere, and we look at this roster. We've talked about the Kentucky roster, and it has not impressed either of us for much going into the season. But and getting Milan Momcilovic, yes, he was probably potentially the best or one of, if not the best, portal grab you can get. That's one guy, though. That's one guy. That's one position. And I don't think he's Anthony Davis. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are guys that are coming back. They're coming back to college for a reason. That's why, as high as you want to say, like a Florida Badunga, Milan Momcilovic, any of these kind of guys, they're really freaking good, but they're still not NBA draft first round. Otherwise, they'd be gone. Otherwise, they wouldn't be a potential for you to go get them, right? So it's one of those things where I have to recalibrate every time we go out there and we get these players. I think I had the sound, but we're not going to play it because we got limited time. But Gary Parrish came on with Andy Sweeney. ESPN Louisville, ESPN 680, 105.7, Monday through Friday from noon to 3, and the ESPN Louisville app, you can listen to him there. But he basically talked about how Kentucky and Louisville have gone all in on just kind of buying other guys' best players every year. And how sustainable is that going to be instead of developing their own talent and their own players? There are certain teams that have done that. Yes, you can buy a player or two, but their entire rosters have been recalibrated, and you're spending all this money. You're spending, whether Louisville fans want to, argue or agree with me or not, somewhere between probably 20 to 30 mil for that roster. Definitely would have probably been 30 if you would have gone out and gotten Milan Momcilovic. Kentucky, who knows how much they spent, but they definitely spent 20 mil last year. And it's just, A, it's not sustainable. And then B, you're trying to win a national championship off of these rosters that are not made of players that are competing at the level, if that makes sense. There are a lot of guys that they're the best player on these mid to upper level teams, but they're not your Anthony Davis. They're not your
right.
These kind of players that we look back at, even like a Donovan Mitchell, they're not these guys.
Right.
Those guys,
they're not
those
complete
guys
like
can go to the
game
league.
changers. Yeah,
Yes.
no, I would agree with that. And even looking at like who was in the Final Four of the national championship game, it's like, are the true blue bloods and really good programs, they're doing a little bit more. I mean, I know Dean Hurley is like a special case, right? But I feel like a lot of the talent he has doesn't jump off the screen at you. And it's what you have to do. You have to develop and you have to recruit for your own system. That was a big thing with Mark Pope last season. But even just going back to your comment, like about how people are mad at you for being a realist, it's like, look at anybody who's successful. Look at any coach who's successful right now in college basketball. They're the same way. They're not satisfied with status quo. Like nobody who wants to be good is, but I would agree with that. I think it's such a mixture now of you do have to have the right, recruits coming out of high school, but also you do have to develop. And I think that is a big piece that is missing with Mark Pope because people come to Kentucky and get worse now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And then I guess here's the part that where I wanted to pivot with this when it comes to Kentucky. Is I want to understand, and I don't know how much compared to how you used to, at least during the season. I know during the season you kind of live on Twitter, on the internet, right? Like and I don't know with your new job if you have as much time or not, but it's just kind of shocked me, and this goes along with us talking about like Louisville fans, Kentucky fans, the recalibration, the excuse making, the whatever, but the fans that have all of a sudden become people angry and making jokes, and like literally BBN was hilarious with the roasting of Mark Pope that has happened for however long they've been doing it. And all of a sudden, I understand it's Twitter and I understand there are trolls out there, but BBN went all of a sudden from that to being chesty. Like now they are the chestiest program that I've ever seen.
I hate that shit, and I
they're Pamela Anderson. That's how chesty they are.
Pamela, they are that Playboy magazine you were talking about.
That's musty. That's a musty reference, isn't that? That's a little musty.
That was like what, the 80s.
But what I'm trying to understand is where the hell does that come from? And I understand. I think Milan Momcilovic, and I'll talk about how I think that he would have done for Louisville. But a player that, yes, I guess he's shooting close to 50% from three, but statistically otherwise, not that good. Defense, rebounding, like that. Those kind of situations. I mean, it's I know Street went on his rant about how close, or somebody was trying to argue Fulgetis over Milan Momcilovic because their rebounds were 3.6 per game and 3.1. So whatever have you. But outside of, unless you can just let's spend the entire game just getting him wide open, and he's just taking threes the entire freaking game. I don't understand what about this player has changed Kentucky basketball to a point that they are now confident that they got a better roster than Louisville. And you can argue. I'm not trying to say that Louisville's a world beater. I'm not saying that even that Louisville right now is going to be competing for a national title. There's a lot to go on there that makes me be a little bit more. I'm less of a Nick Valvano. I'm less sunshine pumping, and I am more and more concerned about the way this roster looks moving forward. But at the same time, Kentucky basketball and Mark Pope, where is now this adoration for this coach that's starting to come out there? Like last year didn't happen. Like we didn't just watch him get waxed by 30. Like we didn't just see him go out there and get embarrassed.
By having like the best roster in the offseason. Thank you. So
talk about wanting to off himself and all that stuff. We just forgot all of it. It's all gone.
You make me feel normal because I feel the same. Okay, Michigan just won the national championship with all portal players. Your argument doesn't hold water. No, like I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I think, but a lot of it is the difference of having a good coach too. I think it's the biggest thing of why I don't give a fuck what happens to the portal, because you had a seemingly very successful portal off season last season and nothing happened. But just going back to that, I think UK fans are so used to. I think it all comes down to ignorance, really. And I'm not trying to be a hater or like think that I'm better than other Kentucky fans, but to me, true, like having something you can be proud of. When it's beneath status quo, you're not out there like fighting with people to say it's so good. It's like, yeah, this isn't the standard, and you should be able to say that. I don't get that. I think it's embarrassing. And I don't think a lot of the other blue bloods really do that. It would be embarrassing to me to go out and flaunt one portal get. I don't know. And just like being a prisoner of the moment, like last season didn't happen, or like, are people uneducated? Like I thought a big thing with the Kentucky fan base for so long was like, oh, there's grandmas in the stands at Rupp Arena and they know so much about basketball. Well, like, I don't know what happened to them, but like, I don't know who's on Twitter. Maybe it's like everybody with a brain cell is so fatigued by this whole thing that's been happening that it's you're just so worn out by the dumb takes. Like that happened to me last season, I feel like, or 2 seasons ago with Kentucky basketball. Is like, you just get worn out of fighting people who don't know fucking shit about anything. So, all right, okay, cool. You be excited, but I don't really care. But it's embarrassing to me, I will say that as a Kentucky fan, that people are out there trying to be chesty about getting one big portal get when the rest of the offseason has been a dumpster fire. And when you didn't do shit with the good portal gets you got last season. So I don't know why people are still trying to make the offseason be a thing for Mark Pope and this staff. Have you not learned your lesson? Sometimes the best thing you could do in this situation is just shut your mouth and see what plays out. You know what I mean? Like, for me, nothing will change my opinion. And shout out to my girl T at work, because she messaged me just a little bit ago and she was like, it doesn't change your mind a little bit getting Ryan Hampton. And I mean, like, I think it's good. It shows, we'll get into it in a minute, but there's some good that it shows, but it doesn't change my belief in Mark Pope. It may have changed my belief in his ability of the staff that he has now put around him, but it doesn't change my belief at all in his ability. And nothing should, if you are truly being honest with yourself, until you see an on-court result. Like, for some reason, the Purdue exhibition game last season just did me in. I'm not believing anything. They could go beat the Spurs in an exhibition, and I don't give a shit until the game counts. Like, I genuinely don't care.
And I agree with you there. Okay, and I'll touch on this because a couple people are asking. I'm trying to confirm this, but I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about Michigan. I'm pretty sure they had 4 transfers. Four transfers last year. I mean, yes, they had some of their best ones. Ali Cadeau, Mara, Yaxel Lindenberg, like those kind of players. Yes, those are their
But
stars.
again, Mara, a generational, like talking about Anthony Davis, like affects him just being in the game, and he affects both sides of the floor.
Yes, but yeah, I'm not just going to say that entire team was just built off of transfer guys. I guess also just make sure when I actually say it. Transfer portal, as in your entire team is being flipped in one season, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like your entire roster, not there's a transfer guy you got and you kept him for a couple of years. That changes things. I'm talking about completely resetting your team, resetting your roster. Shout out Sean, says, hey guys, missed y'all last week. Hope you both are doing well. Congrats to Tarullo on UK getting Milan. I don't think it will salvage UK or even Pope's job. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for that positivity. But just real quick, like, I agree with you. I think my biggest thing is, to me, is when it comes to Kentucky basketball right now, and I'm just trying to understand how we're supposed to move forward. Like, because you're looking at the SEC and you're looking at like Tennessee built a stellar class. Like, there's a guy I have at work that I talk with every day. He's a big Tennessee fan. I mean, they have one of the best classes, and they're going to probably this is their best. This is like their do or die kind of season for Rick Barnes. It feels like to me, it feels like. I mean, we talked about how much through the portal, like even Indiana was putting together an impressive enough class, but like this is not. These are not teams that are going to go out there and give you what I perceive as Kentucky basketball. I'm talking about dominant, overwhelming. The front courts, like these guys are sorry, I'm just choking on myself over here. So yeah, save that. But anyway, when it comes to like this team, I just don't see where they're starting to get that kind of excitement or their idea that there's a philosophy when it comes to Mark Pope that he's going to coach these guys up and have them competing for a national title. And the last time I checked, and I understand not every season can be Final Four or bust, because it's really, really hard to win and to make it to the Final Four or to win a Final Four. But at the same time, like to actually be able to dream on it. Let me actually touch on this real quick. Let's talk about how it affects Louisville with Milan Momcilovic going there. Like, to me, I had a few frustrations there. I had because Kentucky had the money, and I understand. I'm not trying to just urinate and say, they had a lot of money there, they're going to overspend. I don't give a shit what you pay any player out there. You pay them. If you have the money, you give it to them. If you don't need it, if it's not gonna destroy your program or whatever have you.
Grown man shit. It's grown man time. Yeah.
I do not care, because that guy's going to go out there and put up, like I said, probably shoot 40% or above from three, every game. That's what you're getting from him. And the issue with me is, for Louisville basketball, that's what Louisville basketball needs this season. We've talked so many times about how Strebel, his idea, his belief that U of L is straying so far from what they usually do that they're going to be the Mark Pope of this upcoming season. They're going to have this team that goes out there and doesn't play. I disagree with it vehemently.
I disagree too.
But I do think that this was a situation, and Rummage, whoever, people out there have kind of come out there and said that basically, like, the amount of money that could be allocated or would be allocated, that Louisville was just not going to be able to pay as much as Kentucky could, because, I guess you only had, you missed out on Blackwell, and there was that money there, but you also did buy a few other guys there in between then. So there just wasn't going to be the wealth of resources that Kentucky had from just kind of, and this sounds pissy. I'm being a bit, a pissy baby with this, but like from Mark Pope just swinging and missing and swinging and missing and swinging and missing, Tyron Stokes and all these guys that had lined up. That there was just more funds there for Kentucky in the end.
Yeah, lose a lot in your savings account. Like, it loses a lot in your savings account. Like, when you get one, like, that's so obvious, though. Who doesn't see that? I don't get that. Well,
and to me, the issue is like the situation to me, and it left a pit in my heart a little bit. When the news broke, and I knew what it was going to be, and I knew it was Kentucky and whatever, but it still kind of sunk a little bit, because to me, I think if you're Louisville basketball and you get a Milan Momcilovic, this team is going to be one of the top. Then you're probably pushed into one of the top 5 teams in the country going into next season, and probably one of the favorites to make the Final Four. So to me, that kind of changes everything a little bit. I'm not willing. I'm just not at this moment. This is not going to be an excuse for PK. It's not going to be a moment where you can kind of go out there and say, well, he missed on Momcilovic, he missed on John Blackwell, he missed on these kind of these dynamic shooter scorers. He brought in the guys that he wanted. He got Flory Badunga. He got Shellstad. They've been talking up Shellstad and like his speed, and we'll see how that translates or whatever. And then you got 2 guys that I've been kind of keeping my eye on. That Isaac Ellis, who is this skinny white kid who is
your favorite.
Who's reclassified to come back in. I mean, if he's putting up 30 to 40 points averaging per game, in what to me, I just feel like at some point basketball, like, that has to translate, right? Like, is it that hard? Like, if you're just drilling them from 3, like, you just got to be able to find an open spot And you should be able to fill it up at some point, right? And then and I apologize, I'm terrible about saying his name, the Asian kid, the Bo. I'll figure it out one day. But I'm hoping those guys. Otherwise, to me, this is a moment, and this is going to be a season for Louisville basketball that's going to be kind of a do or die in the mindset of, at least maybe not with the powers that be. Lottie and all the guys up there, shout out, Josh Hurd, all of them. Maybe not with them, but I think with the fan base, I think there's going to be some kind of final judgment on the way that Pat Kelsey is going to be perceived moving forward after.
Well, I think it's very astute. I think you'll see what kind of coach he is, and if he can be dynamic and adjustable and adjust to the players that want to come play for him, and what he can do to make a change. And I just don't understand how people don't see it like we do. I think it's a very smart way to look at it, is like, can your coach transition to, with the pieces that he has available, and can he, fill the spots that were weaknesses the season before? And I don't know. I just give PK the nod here because he can at least has the intangibles, and players want to play hard for him, and you see that, and he knows how to coach. That's the other thing. It's not just like it was a disaster last season and there were injuries. That's what I don't fucking get about these people on Twitter, these UK fans that are like, it was so many injuries. It's like, dog, like, you have other teams calling you out for quitting. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, look at Pitino's first years with like zero talent. And I know the climate has changed, and I know everything has changed with transfer world, what have you. It is, but it doesn't matter if your team will play hard for you. And I think it will say a lot as PK as a coach. And I think that's really just what you're getting at. And I think that is a very fair indictment. I think everybody's weak and everybody's soft these days, being like, well, he didn't have the right pieces, and that guy hurt his knee, and this and that. I don't know. When do we get so soft as a society or as fans? Like, that's part of the fun of being fans, is like, I don't know, none of that matters. Can you and this is just going back to what Kirby Smart says during the football season. It's like, do not get in here and bitch about injuries or ask me questions about injuries. He thinks it's pathetic. He's like, if you're playing football, injuries are part of the game. You're a shit ass coach if you can't accept that. So I don't want to hear that. And I don't like that Mark Pope makes excuses all the damn time. Like, I don't care. I don't care that he has Momcilovic. I don't care that he has Ryan Hampton. I still don't respect him, and I still think he's weak sauce. So I don't know. We'll see. And I don't think PK is weak sauce. I really don't. I don't think he's weak sauce.
We'll see how I feel about him here in a little bit.
More importantly,
Brad Parnell, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? Bricks and minifigs? Is this a Lego reference?
I don't know what that means.
I'm happy for you, though. I'm happy. Wayne, did Mr. Pope just get a commitment? Yeah, we're about to talk about that in just a second. And we had to get out the Momcilovic stuff before we moved on to more of the positivity from you guys. Kentucky fans are so hyped over a player that is ranked 20th in ESPN's 2027 high school rankings. How pathetic. Chris Curry says, why is the narrative that Momcilovic has somehow caused Louisville to regress when a month ago he wasn't even looking at Louisville's #1 portal class? Okay, here's what I'm going to say. It's not as much. Thank you. I didn't even notice that I did it. Here's the thing. When it comes to Louisville, it's not as much that Louisville's regressing. It's that we had multiple weeks. I think you had the big hit to start. You got a good influx of some solid talent, highly respected guys, Folgueras, Carter Knox, fine, and like some really solid pieces there that you can use. The problem is I think a lot of people in the fan base and people around the sport expected that Louisville basketball would be able to go out there and get one more kind of like, not crown jewel, but close to that. They were in on John Blackwell and then Momcilovic here, and there were players like that were viewed as the top of the top, the creme de la creme of this class. And if you get a player like that, then it's all but confirmed that Louisville basketball is doing everything they can to win a national title and to give pieces to Pat Kelsey that he needs. Here's the problem: is people get so overhyped by some of these numbers. And the numbers lie to you. And here's the problem. We get into it, and Louisville basketball completely depleted their roster. You had 3 or 4 guys left that remained. You get to keep Adrian Woolley. That's great. You got Will Hankey. Shout out Will Hankey, who was at the station. He's talking with Diener and Blake in the morning. Hopefully they'll let him come back.
Hopefully you would want to come back after. Just kidding. I love you guys.
Well, there's a video that went out there. Anyway, so there's other stuff that happened. But anyway, who else am I blanking on? Somebody, London Johnson. And is there anybody else, or was it 3? Was it 3 in the end? It might be London Johnson, and that's it. Am I forgetting somebody? If I am, somebody remind me. But those are the players that were there.
Because you know it's not going to be me.
I know. Yeah. I'm talking about the chat. Yeah, no, it's the chat. If you can remind me. No, it's nothing you don't. It's like you don't care when it's Louisville. It's fine. But Louisville had that to start off with. So, yes, you go out there, and Louisville's going to need to land some of the top guys in the portal to be competitive when you have no roster. So the problem is some of these other schools that may be a little bit lower in the rankings, they had to get less pieces, but they get the pieces that they need. It's the same thing with okay, am I gonna do this? Am I doing this? Okay.
Do it.
Kentucky football fans, it's what's happening with your team right now. James Strebel, where your fucking team's gone. They're gone. So now you want Stoops back. But no, when you fire a coach, when you move on, and when things change, you have a depleted roster. You have lots of spots that you need filled. Thus, you have lots of money that you can spend to fill these spots. That's why you're able to get so many of these kids. I'm not urinating on the class they're doing. Shout out Pete Nocta. Pete Nocta's doing work. He's doing well.
I had no idea he was that cool.
I don't know if I guess he's cool. I guess he's all right. He's okay. He's yeah. He likes Strebel. He likes Strebel. Anyway. Pete Nocta and those guys. They're good. They're doing well recruiting. But at the same time, it's the same kind of situation. Louisville football could kind of focus a little bit more on some of the guys because they also spent a lot of time retaining players like Isaac Brown that they needed, who were going to be one of the best running backs in the country in the portal if he did. So I'm not saying that Louisville's better or worse in certain situations. What I'm saying is we kind of have to recalibrate and look at a lot of these rosters in the same way. A lot of people look at that number 1 Louisville basketball transfer ranking and they say, well, Louisville's great. That's going to be the number 1 team in the nation. Not so fast, my friend. Let's recalibrate a little bit and see what these other teams that bring back. And then you get to realize they have other guys that have been in their system that know the coaches well, that are going to be there and help guide them a little bit more. This is a lot more difficult when you have to bring in an entire new team and you got to mesh that chemistry. You got to mesh those guys with the coaching, and you're bringing in new coaches too. You got Andrew Jack and you got Sean. I forgot your last name. I apologize. Sean is coming in as well. My guy Sean. 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 Freaking Sean. But it takes more time. There's less of a they say in church, you want to build a house on a good foundation. You don't want to build it on sand. No sand. You don't want to be built to sand. So that's all it is. All I'm saying is it could be great. Louisville could have a really, really, really good team. They could push whatever. I'm going to need to see Pat Kelsey win more than 1 game in the NCAA tournament before I really feel confident about anything. I'm going to need to see him beat 1 team. And yes, this is my guy. Who was our guy? The BBN Raz or whatever. What was his name? Blue Raz. That guy said, I will take it. I completely understand. I need to see Louisville basketball under Pat Kelsey win a game against a top 25 opponent. What more 1A quad 1A games throughout this season. This is the time for him to get it done. So we'll see. But yeah, anyway, my point was, sorry, go ahead.
Do you feel like if you hadn't seen Kentucky completely fumble their super expensive roster, did that affect you at all with how that really means nothing unless you can perform and give the results? Did that, or is that just being egotistical? Be because that would have affected me. All right, that doesn't mean everything. You could be excited the offseason and still fall flat on your face.
You mean me see Louisville spend the amount of money they're spending and make me a little gun shy or a little bit less optimistic?
Yeah. Just be a realist and wait to see, not get caught up in the hype and just be I'm going to wait to see results. You know what I mean?
No, I like that. I understand your reasoning. It's weird. This is really weird place.
I'm just wondering if that would have affected me. I'd be you could be embarrassed real quick, and I'm going to shut the fuck up. That's what I would have felt.
But here's the thing: is like I'm confident in Pat Kelsey to beat the bums. Like he doesn't really lose that many games to the.
No, he beats who he needs to beat.
He doesn't get embarrassed against those teams. Like there's no like, oh, embarrassing, whatever, upset.
Yeah. He
just loses to the guys that should kick his ass, which is frustrating because you want to see your guy be able to get up and get one over a Calipari, get one over a guy who I haven't had a lot of respect for.
You want to be able to see your guy get one up?
Yeah. Sometimes it's 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night, and I'm like, I need my guy to get one up. You know what I mean? It's Wednesday night in the middle of winter. Your boys I'm getting a little cold. I need to get toasty. Get it up for me, buddy.
I can relate.
Thank you.
I hope my parents weren't listening to this.
I keep forgetting. Like if I were actually doing the mixtape like I used to, I would cut your sound and just send it in. You're lucky. You're lucky that I'm. Yeah. James Black. If you're watching, cut that. Anyway, because I know Tanner Bernamesto's not watching. Anyway, even though he's tweeted it out a couple times, I know he has. But
Big Tan.
Yeah, but when you say that though. When you talk about the roster and you talk about like confidence there in that roster and the amount of money that's being spent, it's weird though. That's that weird place that I sit because like Mark Pope, got his ass blasted and I know Kenny Payne is too, whatever. It's not a good analogy, but what I mean is like you were embarrassed in certain situations so many times that it felt. Some of those losses, like the Gonzaga loss, felt Kenny Payne-esque. It felt like you had like an inexcusable buffoon at head coach.
Yes.
But Mark Pope also goes out there and he beats Rick Pitino and he beats Calipari and he beats
I
Rick Barnes.
I know.
He wins those games.
And
it's like, how is this fucking buffoon out there doing it? How is this jabroni going out there and beating like some of the best coaches in the last 20 years of basketball?
I do not get it. I do not. And it's well actually that is more infuriating because it's like, all right, maybe you have put together this team with the right amount of talent to be able to do that, and they can get up for these big games. But like, I mean, they should be able to get up for Gonzaga and shit, right? But it's like. It's the same thing that pissed me off with Mark Stoops. It's like sometimes you could do it, and sometimes you can't. Like it's not a talent problem. It's not a roster put together problem. It's a fucking discipline. It's a respect problem. We have identified the issue. It is respect. It's like, do the players even trust this guy? No. Yeah. So it's like I think that's more frustrating than. Because it's less hopeful. Because if it were truly a roster construction problem or an injury problem, you'd be like, all right, well, next season we can figure it out. We can put it together, whatever. But if it's like they won't even listen to this motherfucker, they don't even give a shit what he says. We have Otega Owe rolling his eyes in press conference. It's like, all right, well, that's not fixable until there's an entirely new administration, right? It don't matter. You have anybody in there, it didn't matter. Like that is more incriminating to me and more vile to me, because then you're just wasting riches. You're wasting a beautiful opportunity because you're dumbass.
I know we had concerns and belief that like, remember early in the season that there was like all this drama going on behind the scenes, and I'm guessing like to me like this is Mark Pope's opportunity to prove quietly to us that that's what was happening. That I am. Well,
but then he recruited bad character issues. Yeah. All right, so it's still on you. Bye.
I know you're ready. Right? You're moving on.
He will not win with me ever. Like he won't. Yeah. He's too weak. He's too soft. Sorry.
Speaking of winning with you, and I'm sure I know a lot of people saw this or caught on to this. Before, don't just blurt out and say however you feel. But I would like to, not that I expect you to do that. But I would like you. To give your opinion on this video right here. I know you had to see it by now, so you definitely did. But just this.
Gone. Double gone. Invisible completely. This love never existed.
We'll just put the head coach of Florida on his face. Wait, can we just do that right now?
Right now?
We love you. Totally stand out. What are you talking about? Yeah, we do.
You can try to say something.
And then we should put a heart around to take it. No one will know who is. Like, who did that? Okay, why no, I good people, but no.
I hate the stupid music so much.
I am livid. How about get the fuck out of the facility? Why are you within there?
We were gonna do.
Why are you in there? The whole fucking problem with Marco right here. Right fucking here. There's a whole fucking problem. Listen, honey just like made a little bit of one sound and I looked at her with like all of the ire in the world and said, shut up. And that's what Mark Pope needs to do. And I'm so sorry. But that video tells me fucking everything. He can't even run his own fucking household. I'm not, and don't twist this to be something that needs to be, Mark Pope needs to tell women in his life to shut up. That's not what I'm fucking saying.
It's
but
his
isn't
daughter.
it fucking obvious?
Man.
Whoa, he can't even run his own fucking household. Do you think my father, I remember one time, me and my dad were going to this basketball game. I can't remember what it was. This was like a long time ago. It's probably like some conference. We were in Cincinnati, I feel like, for some reason. And there was maybe like some Conference USA tournament, something like that. And my dad was trying to sell these tickets or we were trying to bargain for something. And I opened my mouth for 2 seconds about like, wow, that is a different thing than what you're saying. My dad looked at me with all the and I just learned about just stop. If I were doing this about the wall covering business right now, this is what I'm saying, man. Nobody's scared of him. That's your dad's workplace. That is people that your dad had belief in that he recruited. Is everyone fucking stupid? I'm sorry. I've met Leanne. I met the girls. I liked him a lot initially. Okay, I liked him when I met him, but that is such a bad, fucking disrespectful look. I don't think anybody in Mark Pope's home respects him, and I'll go on record saying that if you're doing that shit in public and you're posting it, that's embarrassing. Who are you to be at the facility making any kind of comment on anything? Are you getting paid to do that? And Mark Pope was just like, my dad would beat my ass. I'd get murdered if I ever try to get in the way of his work or his business or what he does by some silly little childish like me. It's not fucking funny. Guess what? Yeah. It's not a little AAU tournament. There's a lot of money that goes into it, and it's important. And that's a weird thing to trivialize it that much. And people are like, oh, it's difference in generation. Well, it's Gen Z or it's whatever. No, I don't think so. I think that's fucking weird that you did that, and I think it's weird you're in there doing that. Like I don't know. It pisses me off really bad. It's like, all right, if you're gonna let that slide, what other weird, disrespectful shit are you letting slide with your team? Maybe that's like a really weird, old school take to have, but I just know how I am as a daughter. Yep. Never in a million years would I do anything.
Phil might run in here and start whipping her ass. You don't know. You
wouldn't hear from me again.
I'm kidding.
Next podcast is gonna be Phil in a wig. Thank God he's out of town. He'd be down here right now, being like, that would not fly in this home. Like that, like that to me is like, it just tells me everything. Like it's not all like funny and cute. Like that, that's just like inappropriate to me. And I don't think that's like a generational thing. It's like, that's your dad's job, and that it's just not cute. That's not very cute to me.
You know, this is one of those moments where I didn't have a Sunday sauce for today, but I think I do. And I think the reason I need to bring this up is that's a household that didn't grow up with a wooden spoon. There was no wooden spoon in that household.
Boom, baby!
There is no fear of getting hit. Like, you know, I saw this, somebody was talking about that, about like the different traumas in lives. I think people were talking about millennials and why they have like these, why we have like gray tone houses and shit like that or whatever. I don't know. My wife decorates our house. I don't get a say. Like I get this. I get this down here, and the rest is not my home, and it's fine. That's good. That's good. She can have it. But they talked about it's trauma, and it's people that have dealt with trauma. You know, somebody who's had their ass beat a couple times. That's another thing too. So you can tell somebody who has had to get hit with a wooden spoon, who's stepped out of line one too many times. Because there's a lot of people out there that'll get there and yap, and then they finally get into the real world and somebody whips their ass and they end up with that. That's what the Mark Pope daughters are right now. They've never been put in line. I mean, listen, the Calipari daughters said a lot of stupid shit, but for the most part, it was them protecting and
they rolled for their damn dad.
Yeah, it was always rolling for the family. It was always keeping the family business in line. They never would say anything that would make their father look like a fool or look embarrassed.
It was respect.
And
it
instead,
was like 10 toes behind him.
Yeah. Instead, what you have here now is a family that doesn't respect their father, that does not treat Mark Pope like the man of the house, and then you see them go out there and potentially put his ass on the line, put him on the line with the fandom, but then also just when it comes to just any way of looking like a man, and there's relationships with each of those players, because there's some of these guys you just have to realize, like, hey, buddy wanted to go back to Florida, Aberdeen wanted to go back to Florida, fine, go back to Florida, enjoy. He may still have a great relationship with him. Colin Chandler, BYU, you think he doesn't want to have a good relationship with him? Like, I just, to me, it just looks so petty.
It looks so inappropriate, and boundaries are not drawn, that it is such an obvious example of what I'm talking about. And like the rumors of when Miss Leanne was like going to the practices and trying to meet with the players, and she was like, what's going on in your personal life? Are you okay? I don't know if that's even true or not, but the fact that could even be a rumor, and like, and I know this is super petty, and like, I hate to even say it publicly, but the fact that he like gave her his championship ring to wear as like a thing around her neck, I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess that's cute and fine, but like, she didn't win it. It's like, he won. Like, why does she like get her another piece of jewelry? Like, why does she need, like, that's not something she did. Like, I don't know. That's just very strange and weird to me. I'm like, all right, I don't know. It's like he puts off all of this like authority and respect and whatever to like the other people. And that's good in a lot of ways, but like, if the stakes are so much lower for like anything like that my dad would do, but I could not imagine ever even opening my mouth about anything professionally that my dad is doing, or like, I just like, they're not scared of him. And it's so obvious that why would any of this fucking team be scared of him either? If that shit's going on, like I hate that. That video disgusts me to a level I don't even know how to verbalize. And like, I'm even scared of my mom that way to get my ass beat. Like, I don't know. I think it makes you a better person. You should be a little bit scared of people in authority. I think it makes you a better human being. But
the way I'm going back right now, and I'm just like sliding back and forth to see like the video, and like a couple of things that bother me. Like their giggly ass and whatever, that kind of stuff. But also just like this is a video that's been edited and put together, like with multiple different shots, different views, and then at the end where it says you got caught, like it's not funny. Like it's not cute. It's not something that's going to win over fans. It's going to all it does is hurt your dad. That's all it does.
Yes, it hurts your. Do you not understand the concept of respect for your father? Yeah. Like that would just. It reminds me of like being a kid and like you would have this friend who would like tell his mom to shut up, or like she would tell her mom to like be quiet, and I would be like I'd get mad. To this day, my mom would be like, she would just give me one little look and I will shut the hell up.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't get it. I was, I don't get it at all. Like, I remember I used to have a friend over in like grade school and shit, and she would always like get in the pantry and just start making whatever she wanted. I wouldn't even do that at my own home. And my mom was like appalled. She was like, she does that in her own home. She comes to somebody else's house and does that. Or you can, and I have like the nicest, most affable, nice, warm mom ever. But it's
there's
like,
certain stuff, there's
levels
lines you don't cross. The
there's
pantry,
lines you don't cross. Especially,
I had a friend who, and I don't know, it doesn't bother me as much, but it still gets brought up. He put his socks that had gotten wet into the dryer and dried them at our house. And she will break. I mean, it was an empty dryer, but she's still pissed about it. She brings it up regularly.
Why do you have the authority to get in somebody's house and do that? Like, what?
I think it was, I think there's a part of like, here's the thing. My wife, who does not come from that background, she comes more from like, she's from Kentucky and all that, her family is more white. Yeah, it's very white.
Mark Pope is the whitest.
And if I were to tell her like somebody did this, she'd be like, okay, that's fine. This is whatever. Our home's their home, kind of thing. No, it's two very different. It's two different upbringings. I went down and
put socks in the dryer. Right, I'm at my parents' house right now. If I went and put socks in the dryer right now, it would be a conversation. My mom would be like, the last time I tried to like get in there like without being like, hey, like I'm gonna do some laundry right now. My mom was like, what'd you do with the lint catcher? Did you? I'm like, I'm using it to do heroin in the bathroom. So I'm so sorry about that. No, like it just moved. Like I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, no, this is the big thing. And I don't know. Some people it's just like there needs to, this is, God, great fucking topic, Soforo, because I think this video brings it all together. There needs to be a healthy amount of fear, and it's just not there.
No.
And I don't care if it's between opposing coaches. It would be nice if it were there, but with your own players, And Ortega always ass probably got beat. Why do you think his ass is in the press conference rolling his eyes at shit?
Yep.
Why do you think they laughed about the performative shit about when Mark Pope hurt his hand? I would have been like, this is fucking Michael Scott's tots. I don't trust anything you say. I know you're going to laugh at this. The one time I got spanked, my siblings got spanked all the time. I got spanked one time in my life, and it was because I was in preschool and I changed my clothes too many times and I made us late. And not much has changed.
One time ever? You were spanked as a child one time ever.
I was such a good kid. My rebellious streak came out a little bit later. My siblings got spanked. They were biting and doing bad things. But my one thing that I really
it happens. It may happen I don't know.
I think
I don't want to say hourly in my home, but it happens often because
I think that's good, and I think you're raising people would want to date and be with.
My boys,
because they know how to.
They're pushing some limits right now. Luca right now is starting to learn that if I say something,
boundaries.
Well, and it's got to learn. If I say something, it means fucking do it. It means either stop doing whatever I said or do what I just said. There's you were my wife brought up. We're playing a little too fast and easy with the rules early on. Mm-hmm. Now it's time to bring the hand of God in.
Yep. It ain't cute. The best thing that ever happened to me was to be scared of my mom and dad, which I still am.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that builds good people, good character. That's why all these people that end up in jail and all these problems is because they're habitual line steppers and they didn't have parents to stop them from doing that. Ant Fan 2009. Yes. Says, what's up, family? Missed a couple due to timing, but glad to be able to listen live from Japan. Keep it up. Thanks, my guy. I appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Wayne says, I think they had 5 guys transfer and start, if I'm not mistaken. It says 4.
Okay,
I looked at it, it's 4. You said 5.
Their coach probably spanks them. So
on the list, it says 4. So if it's a 5th guy who had a couple years in his belt, maybe, I don't know. I'm just looking at the list. I don't know. You maybe give me a new list. Don't care that much. Kentucky fans are so hyped over. Wait, you said that earlier. Did you say this multiple times, my guy? I think you did. I think he's just putting that in. Putting that in every few minutes or so. Okay. She said players play hard for PK like his best player didn't quit on him last season. Can't make this shit up. You know what?
Well, that was
it's a little bit of a different situation. It's a little bit
when they're
different.
on the court, they're not quitting mid-game.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I think if you're being intellectually honest with yourself, you do know what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
I get your example. I do think that is a bit different than when he is playing. He was playing hard.
You have the dichotomy of the sport in 2 players, and him and Ryan Conwell. And Ryan Conwell was that guy. Ryan
Conwell is who I think of every time when I say that.
Yeah. Ryan Conwell to me is like a PK guy. Getting Michael Brown, and I'm not here to really do I'm moving on from Michael Brown. I'm moving on from shitting on Michael Brown. Am I still frustrated, upset that a player of his caliber didn't play more minutes and could have done great things for Louisville? Yeah, I am a little bit perturbed by that because I do feel like it was fake. Like I said, I'm moving on. I'm not saying anymore. But Ryan Conwell is a guy who will go. We played for 1 year. I really wish he would have fit for that 5-5 rule that he could come back, because to me he's like the quintessential. I put Ryan Conwell, his attitude, his work ethic, his love for the program. It's rare that you get guys like that who really, I understand there's history there. His grandfather was taking him to games at the Yum Center when it first opened, and there's pictures of all that. So it's not like he's a guy who just was like, oh, I'll come to Louisville, whatever. But these guys are not they're not a dime a dozen or whatever the terminology I'm trying to get out there.
Diamond in the rough.
Yes, they are. Thank you. Yes, these are guys that I as a fan would die for. These are, I'm talking about Russ Smiths, Peyton Sivas, Ron Conwell is up there to me with them. Chucky Hepburn probably as well. Those are guys who truly love the program, and it's rare that you get those guys who will put.
Who's great at recruiting them is Rick Pitino, and I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's either you do it or you get the fuck out. He tried to kick out Edgar Sosa so many times until Edgar Sosa finally kind of became that player. But I still love Edgar Sosa. Yeah, obviously that UK game, that shot didn't hurt, but Edgar Sosa was a mess. But there are a lot of guys that they do. Rick Pitino, you're gonna learn to love that program because you're gonna have left it all on the court.
Right. Talk about a scary dad. All we need is a scary dad in charge.
Thanks, Linder. Appreciate it.
Bruce, love you. Thank you.
Douche. Anyway, is Ali Khalifa on staff with U of L? I just saw a new video they released, and he was working out with the team. Yeah, I did see that as well. I can't give you that answer. I don't know. I don't know what he's still. I'll be honest. With all the turnover, bro, I can't just stay on. Like I can't keep a a log of every player and what they're doing, and if they're if they get a GA role or whatever he's doing. But yeah, he's still with the program in some sort today. I did see the video. Louisville fans should come over and join Kentucky fans. Our combined NIL could dominate college basketball. UK was first. We are to hoops what Treebeard was to Middle Earth, which is okay. That makes me happy. Thank you, Andrew Wiggins. Okay, so you don't know what this. Okay, Strebel went off on somebody this week, and they were arguing Lord of the Rings.
I was gonna say this sounds like Lord of the Rings. At least I knew that.
It is Middle Earth. Treebeard is the old ent that carries Merry and Pippin through the flooding, and like they destroy the Twin Towers, and like he gets them onto whatever. Anyway, it is whatever it is. You watched the movie, right? You didn't not well those movies came out around 2001, 2002, 2003. So it's kind of the Two Towers, Twin Towers. Did I say Twin Towers? Two Towers. The Two Towers. I meant the Two Towers. And Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers is the second one. Anyway,
Twin Towers. I was like the Twin Tower. The Twin Tower?
The Ents did it. The Ents sprung it down. Whatever. But yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but I support that for you.
Anyway, Strebel, I think, it's one of Strebel's mean and ugly rants where he basically just went off on somebody and said, I went to Bellarmine. I know about multiple personalities about Smeagol and Gollum. And it was great. It was one of Strebel's moments that he has.
He got religious with it. Okay.
He did. Okay. Will Stein is a brilliant offensive mind, but BBM better hope that DC can keep them close. I agree with that.
Okay.
We'll see. Kelsey has the opposite problem of Brom, who can beat the best teams on the schedule, but can't beat all the teams.
That's astute. And I think, like, at the end of the day, like, so for what would you say is more frustrating? Like having a coach that can, that beats all the teams they're supposed to beat, but it's like they never like surpass that level and beat ones that will really make you feel like you're like,
this is more frustrating.
Level. Yeah. Because it's like mediocrity. It's like the doldrums. It's like just gray, nothing's going on.
I know Strebel and so many people make fun of Chris Mack and that whole thing went the way it went down, but like Chris Mack beat some of those teams. He beat Duke. He beat Michigan State. He beat good teams. He beat good coaches and good teams. He had Louisville and he lost to Florida State. And like Florida State for some reason was his kryptonite. I remember just like Rick had Virginia, he had Florida State for some Leonard Hamilton for some reason. But I remember because I was cheering for Florida State to beat Xavier when they were on the 1 seed and they upset Xavier that year. I didn't know that was going to be who Chris Mack would always lose to, kind of thing. But they were the 1 seed, and I wanted to, so that we could quickly hire him. And then that's how it ended up turning out after that. Was he would just? I don't think he ever beat Florida State. I could be wrong.
What the hell?
It's just one of those weird losses, those weird things that you can't get over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If IU and UK hadn't been so overrated, the PK would have had 3 wins over the top 15. They were 14, 22, and 9 when we played them. But it's where they end. It's not where they start. That's the unfortunate part. Yeah, UK was were they 14 or were they 22? Wait, who was 9? Wait, hold
up.
If
they hadn't been so overrated, I don't get the math on this, but I might just be tired and it's a Sunday. Like, wouldn't that be better if they were overrated? They would have given you better wins than they actually were. I don't get this logic.
I think he means at the time of playing them, they were overrated. So you lost those top.
When it looked, they lost.
Yeah, nobody cares at the end of the season when the net rankings they fell out. So I'm guessing. I'm trying to remember who was what. Yeah, I guess Indiana had to be 22. I think UK was 14 and Louisville was 9. Is that what you're saying? I think because they only
that's
played.
A weak ass excuse, though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but yeah. Your guy is back again. Great show as always. This is the
Oh my god!
all
That I
this
don't know
off-
if he's related to me or.
we don't know. We don't know what this person is, who this person is. Is it an ex-husband? Is it an ex-cousin from an ex-husband? We don't know. All this offseason. All this offseason recruiting transfer portal doesn't matter until we actually see on the floor for both fan bases have been disappointed and being hyped in the offseason. You're right. Let's just Good show. Let's hang it up. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. We will see you when the next season starts. No more reason to talk about the transfer portal. Tarullo, I will see you in September when the football season kicks off.
Anyway. Can't wait.
91 days, by the way, 91 days to the football season, and that kicks off. Okay. I
cannot wait. I am slowly getting very hyped for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I am as well. It's just football takes me a little bit more, and then once football hits, then I'm ready. I don't get the drug as quickly as I think it's just I grew up on basketball, being my number one. And then also just what's Brom going to do this year? It's kind of like, all right, you know what's funny? We were an hour in, right? And we're an hour in, and we're now finally getting just quickly to touch on the stupid
Ryan Hampton
on the main subject. I know people get mad all the time. I see it where they're like, you clickbaited this video. It's like, we're going to get to the topic at some point. It's in the video. Maybe
we got to ride the wave. It's off season. If we're already talking about shit and the conversation is going, don't stop it.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's in the video somewhere. You got to sit around and find it. Anyway, all right. The latest news, the news of the day, if you will, is a 5-star 2027 Ryan Hampton visited Kentucky last weekend and committed today. It was interesting to me, this story, just because there were lots of news, lots of inklings out there last week that if Kentucky didn't land Milan Momcilovic, that he was the backup option to reclassify for this season. And instead, it looks like he will be joining in the 2027 season, having given his commitment to Mark Pope. And I guess my question to you is, has the tide turned for Mark Pope at Kentucky?
No. And anybody who says that, I don't want to be disrespectful. I just don't think you're being intellectually honest with yourself if you will just go straight off of that. But I think there are elements of his commitment that could breed confidence, right? And some of them I'll just get into right away. Ryan Hampton's quote. I'm on cat's paws right now reading this. And
247 cat's paws.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm Ryan Hampton. I'm sorry. Ryan Hampton. He said, I chose Kentucky because of Coach Pope and Coach Mo Williams. They showed me a vision and plan for me to reach my ultimate dreams and goals. They will challenge me to be the best I can be on and off the court. The development piece was key, Hampton continued. They actually showed, this is the important part, they actually showed me from film and analytics what I can do to get better. Coach Pope didn't sugarcoat anything. Nothing is ever given at Kentucky. They're held to a higher standard, and the bright lights are always on, blah, blah, blah. I'm ready for the challenge. Okay, what I like about this and what does inspire confidence in me is that the bigger part here is Mo Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brought in to really change the game recruitment-wise, and I think that has Mo Williams, like we just talked about, not a scary dad, not a critical dad, Mark Pope here. I don't think he's in there showing players film of like where they can get better. And if you want to fit in this, I think you have to scare people a little bit. Like any good salesperson knows, it's not just like, we need you so bad, please sign with us. It's like, all right, if you improve these ways, it could be a mutually beneficial thing, but we're not pathetic enough to need you that bad. And I think this has Mo Williams written all over it, right? Like, this is why you bring him in. So that does inspire confidence in me. I don't know, like, was Mark Pope doing that before? Showing people their highlights or analytics and being like, all right, we see the good parts. We hear some bad parts too. You get better at that if you want to come play for us. So all in all, yes, it is exciting. I'm not ready. Why are people prisoners of the moment? Like after last season and transfer portal and everything, it's just like, I don't know. Like, is something wrong with you that you can get so excited that you got like 2 players in a row? Like whatever, like, so did every other program. We were like the only program who didn't get anybody for that long. I don't know. I just don't get. But what does it? Like, and here's the thing: how you know I'm not a hater. There are parts of it that it did inspire confidence in me, and I'm being honest about what they are. And none of it has to do with Mark Pope. So I I don't know. There's a lot of good about it. I'm glad about it. I won't say it completely changed my opinion or positivity, but it was a step in the right direction. But that commitment is easily forgettable when you have a whole fucking season in front of you.
So I guess for me, it's more of a, and you know, I saw somebody say he's a top 20 prospect. I've seen him rated as number 6 somewhere for next year. He's the lone potential top 10 commitment of the 2027 class. And Mark Pope got him kind of early there by landing him. I'm guessing there doesn't seem to be any kind of movement on him reclassifying this time. That does stick out to me. That is intriguing that that people were able to sit down with him and talk about how they can adjust his game, how they can really fit him into the system. And it makes me wonder, interesting enough, if it was another one of those situations where you locked Mark Pope out of it, but we also have images.
Yeah, because also, did you know Coach Williams is a longtime friend of Hampton's father, Rod Hampton?
Right. Oh. See, I didn't even know that. Okay, thank you for saying that. Well,
I just read it.
Yes, and then we got this picture, and this is the question I have for one Anna Tarullo.
I like the vacation stubble.
Is Beard Pope? Is this the change? Is it Beard
Pope? He would do numbers in the South End. He
does kind of look.
You get him at like a South End Roosters. That man is leaving with a fight, and I respect that.
He looks like
around the edges.
He looks like maybe he'd be friends with Pat Kelsey at this point, or
right.
Actually, what he looks like is we just had Slab Fest. Shout out people that showed up. All the people. It was a big success yesterday evening. Shout out. But we have these guys. They're terrific people. He looks kind of like my guy who delivers the inflatables for the kids' bounce house. he looks.
That's what Mark Pope's gonna be doing 365 days from now. That's what he's gonna be doing.
I guess my question is Mark Pope, is this the change? Is this it? Do you think, was Mark Pope clean shaven and just the way that he looked, does he need something like this to make him look a little bit more likable, relatable? I understand this is whatever, but is
he gonna yell?
Is the post
he needs to yell at?
Does it make him look a little bit tougher? Does it make him look a little less soft? Because I mean,
don't know. The only work on disciplining your daughters first. I don't know.
Beat your 20-year-old daughters at this point. That's what we need.
I'm never gonna be over that. Like, I'm never gonna be over that. Nothing. It just all affirms what I already feel about this man. And I guess having like a scary dad, it's like I have less patience for somebody like this.
Yeah. I don't know. I did find the bearded look just to be interesting, just because it's like, to me, and I'll tell you this, as a man who lost his hair, Mark Pope's also a fraud. I don't like the shaving your head when you have a head full of hair. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if it's full, but like, you're a fraud. Yeah. Like, to me, my culture is not your costume. Yeah, it is. If God provided you with hair, with a head full of hair.
Going woke. Someone's going woke.
My culture is that I have to deal with this. I deal with it when it's cold out too, buddy. Like Buzz Williams, Mark Pope are 2 on my shit list.
Buzz Lightyear.
For the longest time, Buzz Williams is the guy that I looked up to. And then I saw him growing that hair out, and I was like, you have a head of hair? You have a full head of hair. And maybe
you were my hero.
He was.
You were my hero, Buzz.
He was kind of a chubby looking, like, he's kind of got that chubby face no matter what.
Even though your whole, like, he's like your everything.
My look and everything. But anyway, I don't know. But it's one of those things with a lot of men. I feel like sometimes okay, let me not try to get too in the weeds of the psychology of this.
Get in the weeds. I like this.
When a man decides to grow a beard, it is a moment in his life because it's a commitment to do that. It's not just like, there's some people that are going to be lazy, that are just going to let it grow out because they don't care and they don't feel like dealing with it, kind of thing. There is a level of upkeep that comes with growing out a beard that has to happen. So I'm interested to see if Mark Pope is, yes, it is. Is Mark Pope committed to growing out the beard? And like, remember Rick Pitino when he did the playoff beard or the tournament beard or whatever it was? And he just let it grow, and Rick Pitino cannot grow like a great beard. So
it was a little bit homeless. And no offense to the unhoused.
It was whatever. Yeah, it was whatever. That's something that I want to see from Mark Pope. Is this a mindset changing kind of move for him? Like, do I grow this beard?
He gets much more scrappy.
Because like I don't think have we seen a picture of Mark Pope with any kind of like facial hair in his lifetime? Because I feel like he's always been at BYU.
I don't think he was even able to grow it until the past like 6 months or something when things got a little sketchy for him.
He may have gotten the Rogaine and rubbed it on his face.
That's
it works.
What he said, all right.
I'll tell people I've heard reports that it does work if you try it. You might need to do it early on in your life though. I don't know if maybe in your 50s or however old.
If not, I feel like very rarely does an external change like turn into an internal change. We need the internal change first, and then all right, if you want to grow, if you want to get a soul patch, you do what you need to do, okay? But I'm not for the aesthetics of it. All right, I need you to harness that scruff energy internally. Yeah,
if it changes him, like I said, psychologically, if it changes him, if it makes him a little bit more rough around the edges, if it kind of gives him a little bit of that kind of personality, we'll see. By all means, go all in on it. But I will say this: since Mark Pope has let it go, stop shaving, stop trimming it up a little bit, or stop clean shaving it, he's 2 for 2. Because there's a little stubble in that picture of him, as douchey as it was on the beach. That picture of him when he played Many Men by 50 Cent. And Mark Pope, the whitest white man on the face of the earth, is playing that with.
I wish Anna Tarullo would quit threatening my life.
Yeah, many Tarullos wish death upon me, is what he was saying.
Every day, baby.
Baby. Couple things. We've been going for an hour or whatever right now. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Real quick, just want to shout out a couple of our partners, our friends over at Juice Fuel. With Juice Fuel, they bring the gas straight to your car, at home, at work, wherever you are. Skip the gas station for good. Use ESPN, the code ESPN, and get your first month of VIP membership free. Download the app today. Also, Boomba's Pizza, the very best crafted for you pizza, beer, and shareables in the Highlands, Westport Village, J-Town, Jeffersonville, and E-Town. Boomba's Pizza. Make sure you check out both of them. Well, maybe not today. It's 10:48. They're probably shutting down or wrapping up their business. But check. Well, actually, no. Juice Fuel probably around the clock service. I would imagine. It's around the clock service. So. Juice Fuel, but Bear Nose, or damn it, I did the thing. Boomba's. Bear Nose is another sponsor, but Boomba's, check them out. They ain't watching this. I'm pretty sure Phil has to send. I'm pretty sure Phil has to send it to them for them to know that I talked about it. So it's fine. Phil, just cut it out. Just cut out the Bear Nose part. It's fine. Do me a favor, guys. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, head over to the YouTube channel. Definitely check it out over there as well. We'll have more content throughout the summer and into football season as it gets closer and closer. Two couple things. One, I'll just throw this back up there. One last little video thing that people are getting hyped about. It's Louisville fans, and they like to eat up. You give them anything, and we get. I say we, but they get excited. This little video was posted today, and does it feel like they're trying to say something?
Let's see.
Well, maybe not the stretches. Maybe you can go to the stretches.
I was like, it feels like. Okay.
See, there's the Asian kid. There's that kid. That's the one that I'm looking out for. No, Gabe Dines doesn't excite me that much.
I feel like this could be highlights cut up of like my pool basketball game. It's like, all right, okay.
Yeah, like one of those. See, I just feel like to me.
Grand judgment.
I saw a few of these and I was like, are they trying to, argue the we can't shoot thing? Is that what this is?
Yes.
Are they trying to get as many threes up in this shot as possible? Just up there, and there he goes. There he goes again.
Yep. See, look at that roll.
Yeah, that's the first defense I've seen the video, which made me a little bit nervous.
Not a lot of physicality we're seeing in these highlights so far. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Well. And then there's Ali Khalifa.
There's Ali.
Good defense by Ali Khalifa. But it just felt like when they released that, are they trying to argue against 100%. the common no, this team can't shoot. Can they live up to the PK you know what I mean, shooting philosophy. I'm a Louisville fan, my guy. I see right here a few of these have popped in. It's just a video. Kentucky fans are obsessed. I'm a Louisville fan. Yeah. I'm watching it. Yes.
We hate everyone here. We hate all sides here.
Well, I want to love my team. I really want to love my team.
It's like, I
want to like everything.
I can love you. God, this is like my dating life too. It's like I will hate you until I can love you. Okay, I won't break you apart till you're good enough.
I think we may figure out your problem. Oh, you know what? During the summer,
I think we have figured out my problem.
We're gonna work on her dating life. Is what we're gonna do.
Work on that. We're going into the transfer portal.
Yeah. Brother, there's Doug's defense. I'm not a Kentucky fan, you son of a bitch. And I'm not. I wanted, like I said, it just really feels like, I'm like, hey, maybe they can prove it. Maybe they can whatever. I just want to make sure that we have enough shooting there to go around. It'll be fine. My guy, Walt Nicholas, getting ready to launch the Optic Lab. Great show, guys. Incredible bulk, Elzo. I really wish they would show that with this. I need to figure out how to show that because that picture of Strebel makes me smile every single time. But appreciate it. And I know Walt Nicholas, my guy, Nick, he's the big supporter, a member of the channel, and also a supporter of Weird Wednesday. So, guys, make sure you check that out. And then I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the Kings and their performance.
What's going on with that?
I don't know, Anna. Why don't you tell me what's going on with the Kings?
All right, what's going on?
Anna, tell me.
I don't want to take that. All right, what's going on?
Okay, so the reason it's funny is the Louisville Kings, and I gotta be honest, I'm gonna be real. It was a slow start for the Kings through the season. Is this gonna be a King show? Is this? I think Anna usually attends those No Kings protests, but today we are all fans of Kings and the city of Louisville, as the Louisville Kings are headed to the United Bowl and their first ever season in the UFL. What is the United Bowl, Anna? You may ask. You may wonder.
It is the bowl at the end of the season.
It is the UFL championship game.
Yeah.
So the UFL Louisville Kings will be playing for the championship.
All right, they create a new fucking league every year. Like I used to cover AFL. I'm not new to this shit. And they try to get you to care. They'll be like, we're gonna build it brick by brick. This is when I covered AFL in Baltimore. It's like, all right, we'll get on this for like 2 months, but nobody cares. It'll be gone next year. But all right, okay.
I'll be real. I'll be real. I had to. I had to confirm because I saw they said that in the whatever bowl, and I was like, I don't. Like, can you please tell me that? Like, make sure.
Multiple? Like, is there going to be a bloomin' onion, or is this like a good halftime show type of bowl?
When you say it's I know it's the. Right, it's a United Football League. Is that what's the UFL stands for? That's how.
Who doesn't know now?
That's how built in I've been into this. But also like we call it the United Bowl. I'm like, give me something that says like Super Bowl says it's the Super Bowl. It's the championship. Right. It is the final whatever.
It's like a championship. Yes.
Saying United Bowl kind of.
It makes me feel like it's like an insurance company putting it on. I thought Anna was MAGA. Anna is actually none of those things. And I can't wait to talk about this one day because, Anna is for the truth and for right things. And nobody lives up to that. So,
yeah. No, I'll say this because go Louisville Cardinals and shout out my guy. Listen, I saw a few of the games and they were good. If I had more time.
Because the media is pushing it. Like, I was out somewhere the other day, and I looked up at the TV, and it was like Benny Snell on the highlights. And I was like, is that Benny Snell?
Well, he was gone within
isn't he even like not on the king? He's not even on the team anymore. Yeah. So I'm like, there's like this media push for the UFL, but it's just the same as every other shitty not NFL league. So sorry.
Well,
but it was a good accomplishment.
I mean... To say, though I'll say this, and I'll be a little homerific right now. It is cool, at least, that if we're gonna have it, and the Louisville's, they're playing in it, and they kicked out the 2 problem UK players within the first 3 weeks. Then they took off and had success after that. That they in their first year or for whatever, just kind of like similar to how Lou City did in the first years there of their creation to compete and potentially win a title would be cool. I mean, it's cool as in like, that's great. I'm not, I'm not buying a jersey. I'm not going out. I'm not burning the couch. I'm not doing whatever.
You're also not going to remember it in 2 years when the league goes under.
Well,
I'm sorry. I just
yeah.
have worked for these leagues. It's not like I'm coming at this with I've worked for these leagues before. It's like, all right.
You're right.
In the pan.
You're right, yeah, but we'll just take a little bit of just a little positivity. That's about as much as you got from me.
You're right.
So good for them, cool for them.
Guys.
Let me continue on with my life. Shout out though, they actually got good after they got rid of Snell. Yeah. Benny Snell was cheeks. Yep, I see all these comments.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, yes. Okay. Last little thing, and then we can get out of here. And like I said, but anyway, never mind. I'm not even going to go on that tangent. Okay, 2026, 2027 ACC SEC Challenge matchups have been announced. Have you seen who Kentucky plays in that matchup? They will take on the Virginia Cavaliers and have to go play them in Virginia. I mean, they were solid. Lachlan McLean, so you can have some BS, some shite talk, if you will, with Lachlan McLean. And then Louisville will go down and take on, I think it's away. I don't know. I can't tell you. I know Kentucky plays at Virginia. I know that part. But Louisville will take on the Texas Longhorns, which is an interesting enough matchup because Texas should probably have a top 10-ish ranked team with Sean Miller. They had a really good recruiting cycle.
Why wouldn't you put your blue bloods against? I don't get that. Why wouldn't Kentucky play?
Why is it not always Kentucky, Duke,
or the marketing on that fucking sucks. I don't care. Like that, and it's been that way. It's been trash for a while.
I think a lot of the reasoning there is so you may need to
to get the different audiences. So it's all right, North Carolina always tunes in, Duke always tunes in, Kentucky always tunes in. It's like a TV rating thing. So everything is just fucking commercially ruined.
A little bit of that, but also, I mean, how long is what's it called still going to go for? Is it still going to stick around the Champions Classic and all that?
Classic? I don't know.
So they always have a chance to play Duke in that. And then which ones? Wait. There's two different ones, right? There's Champions Classic, and then what's the one that is it defunct or is it still there? The one with Ohio State and North Carolina. Is that still going?
I think Ohio State. I think that used to be. They used to be. I have no idea.
Yeah. Sorry, my thing just glitched out on me, and it was like you were screaming from the bowels of hell. But you're back now, and now your voice sounds okay.
Which I typically am. Which I usually am.
This is Virginia by 20.
Live from the bowels of hell.
That's it. I don't know what happened, but that's what it sounded like. Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama are more relevant now. Kentucky isn't the same with Mark.
While I do agree with that, but it's if you're thinking if you're thinking just even TV rating, it's that's who people want to see with the name brand and who. I don't think that's a complete homerism thing. I think that would be, especially at the beginning of a season or whenever, it's that's what's exciting to watch. I don't know.
No, I
see where you measure up, intra league or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think also just no matter what, as much as Arkansas and Tennessee and Alabama grow in basketball, and Tennessee's had a history of it. Alabama's got a good sized fan base no matter what, but Kentucky basketball and what those ratings bring, and Louisville basketball, I mean, they're always the blueprint of Kentuckyana is second to none when it comes to college basketball.
And bragging rights are different. Bragging rights are fucking different. If Kentucky beats North Carolina, then if Alabama does, it's just a different thing. And I'm not trying to be a huge douchebag by saying that. I think that's just reality. And it would be better for marketing if they did it that way.
I was about to say Arkansas, but Alabama and that area, they always have football no matter what. Tennessee, they still care about football more no matter what. Arkansas,
it hits to their pride. It's their self-identity. It's it's who you think you are, and that's what makes it drama. That's what makes it art, right?
Yes.
That's what makes us buy in. That's what's fun about it.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. That's just something that it was at least interesting to see that be announced. It's every year it does feel like it gets a little bit more and more disappointing to see that matchup where it's I mean, Texas 100%. Is fine and Texas is cool, but I don't know. I feel like some of those, part of me wonders too, because we talk about the scheduling of the Louisville Kentucky game. Would they ever? I mean, I'm guessing they couldn't because it's got to be. It's it's a mandated game at this point, like for them to ever cancel that game. But like, would they ever put the UK U of L game in that challenge so that way it's played later in the year? Is that something that's possible to do, or is it because it's organized between the two programs anyway? That you would never add that. I guess I don't know, but it's something that I wonder.
That's a great point.
Because both sides have discussed it. I personally, I think I want Kentucky Louisville to remain in December, preferably in that Christmassy, a little bit week before Christmas is where I'd rather it be. Right, I think to me personally, most likelihood to have your team healthy. And also just like when you're in the middle of competing in the SEC or ACC, I don't really like that massive distraction potentially right before you got to play Duke or before maybe Mark Pope's got to go play Alabama or whatever that happens then. Like, and it's such a different world too, because I'm thinking of like back when it was Louisville playing in the ACC when Duke and North Carolina, all these programs were, and Duke's still like, a perennial power. But like, I'm talking about like, really, really, really good basketball, not what's become of the ACC, and it's still SEC still is one to me that I don't know, like it's good, but the Big Ten's definitely the top dog right now. So
and I don't hate that. See. I honestly don't hate how well the Big Ten is doing because I think it's just good. Solid fundamental basketball. So all right.
And it's also one of those where it's like for us, like when I say us, I don't mean me as a Kentucky fan, but like for us locally,
at least it's not like the other one. Like at least it's not the ACC for me, and at least it's not the SEC for you. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's also like if you're a Kentucky fan right now, while you've got and like just like with Louisville when they had Pat Kelsey, when they had Kenny Payne, you had Kenny Payne wasn't going to do anything no matter what if it was the Maction or whatever. But like when you don't have a coach that you can truly rely on, I'd rather play in a less than league to give me a chance right now, because otherwise we're just looking at the direct that we have in front of us. All right. I think we pulled as much content as we could out of the news right now. To be honest, guys, there are some things. Actually, if you're in here right now, do me a favor, smash the like button, please. I know we are clearly driving into the doldrums of summer and summer radio and just what's going to come with that kind of thing. So what I would like to hear from you all, there's been a few different ideas of content with some of these lives that we're going to do that we like doing. One of them, an idea that has been passed on with Mark Blankenbaker, and I think there's one and a few people, is kind of revisiting some of these historic games, different games of our past, maybe like heartbreaking ones. Everybody knows Wisconsin and like those kind of games. But I thought maybe kind of going through some of those would be fun throughout the summer. I like my personal hardest loss.
The 2012 Final Four between Kentucky and Louisville.
That one, see, that's an interesting one. That one didn't hurt me because I expected it. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like, well, honestly, Louisville making it there. It did bother me that Louisville gave the best fight to Kentucky that entire run, and that could have been the championship game. Well, and then you saw Louisville made their run, but
don't count anymore.
Okay, don't do this. We're not doing this, Tarullo. But anyway, this will be one of the games that I'll pull up and I'm going into the archives. But 06 Rutgers is still the worst defeat that I've ever suffered as a Louisville fan, football or basketball. Nothing's hurt more than that one, because I'm still pretty confident that if that didn't happen, that team is playing for a national championship and would have beat Ohio State instead of Florida beating them anyway. So anyway, we'll talk about it. But anyway, leave comments, anything like that. If you'd like to see some of that, leave a comment on the video, respond to it on Twitter, all that good stuff. Let us know what you'd like to see. And if you have games that stick out to you that you would like us, maybe a little bit more obscure ones, that could be fun too. The guy... you guys, shout out, always doing the super chats for us, and we appreciate the support. Says, I want to rename the show the Sit Down or Two Bison. We might need, I'm not trying to be greedy, but maybe a little bit more than $2. Just if you want to rename, if you want to name the show, if you donate a little bit more than that, I might let you name the show. I still, if we're gonna do like a Paisan theme, I still think just Sunday sauce would be a good name for the whole show. Just the Sunday sauce. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much. Appreciate everybody for tuning in who hung out with us tonight as we get through this. Jeff Ramones, Kentucky. Anyway, shout out everybody. If you haven't already, do me a favor, smash the freaking like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, stay notified for all of our latest videos. And you know what? We'll have to see you guys next time. Give me a big old go Cards, Anna. Say go Cards. You got this.
Cats for life, even when they suck, even when they don't respect their dad. Cats for life.